Good afternoon, dear beloveds. This is the launch of Cigars and Spirituality. MorningStar came up with this idea that cigars and spirituality is something that I should do to allow people to be comfortable about smoking cigars and having spiritual dialogues and talking about the ascension of consciousness, the ushering of consciousness, the newfound consciousness that is inside of all of us, and that enlightenment doesn't have to be reduced to people wearing robes, to people being only in one particular field, but it is the container of all things. It is the transcendence of all things. It is the everythingness. It is the I am bliss. And as you are listening to this right now, allow this to be a guided meditation for you. Allow this to take you somewhere. Allow this message to shine forth. And as this message is shining forth, I want you to be comfortable about where you are at right now, about being very omnipresent, about not being a certain thing, not being a thought, not being a concept, not being your imagination, not being consciousness, but just being the omnipresence of being, just being energy, not being a ball of energy. We always talk about visualizations of energy, but I want you to be omnipresent. I want you to be the energy of all things, the trees, the water, the waves, the surfer that is riding the wave, but the wave is going against the surfer. But what we're doing right now is flowing with the wave of consciousness. We're flowing with our true nature, our true wonder, our childlike innocence. We are flowing and naturally letting ourselves go with the flow. And I wanted to leave you guys with that, but I'm going to share out to all of the groups. But allow this Cigars and Spirituality, MorningStar came up with this concept, and allow this to be something soothing. So if you have a cigar, I would highly recommend you light it and cut it and start smoking, and let us have this dialogue and lift of service to all, and let it be something to ponder in times of contemplation and meditation, so that we have this sort of ingrained in our consciousness, so that we sort of understand that we are an omnipresent being, we are a miraculous being, we are an authentic being. And if we can't see ourselves past a vase, think of yourself as something that holds plants, a vase. And what if you were not contained in a box or a vase, or you weren't even contained in anything, but you were just the landscape? You were just the swaying of the trees, you were the wind, you were the consciousness of what everything is being projected on. So we have to see ourselves as magical. We have to see ourselves as omnipresent, that we're everywhere all the time, that all is well, that we have faith, that we are building the collective up one brick at a time. So I would like for you to ponder that in your mind for a second and allow this to be sort of a guided meditation as I'm talking, as I'm smoking my cigar, as I'm just here sitting with you all. I want you to see yourself more than what you have ever saw yourself. Not a concept, not a description, not that I'm authentic, not that I have an authentic expression, because it's not your authentic expression. It's just how your higher self shines forth through you. And I sort of want you to drift off into a space where you can create. Let's be absolute. Let's go to a reality that's not of this reality. Let's become the absolute reality. Let's become infinite in our creations. Let's become the container of all things. Let's become transcendence right in this moment. And I sort of want you to understand that you don't have to be a thing. You don't have to be this. You don't have to be that. You don't have to be anything. All you have to be is the I am. All you have to be is consciousness. All you have to be is the oracle of love, light, and wisdom, is God in human form. So how are we ever going to be prosperous beings if we don't feel prosperous? If we don't feel like God is working on our behalf? How can we feel magical if we don't get subtle, if we don't get quiet, if we don't become the childlike wonder of our consciousness? How can we ever become magical in this moment if we disregard our true nature, our true prosperity, our true wonderment? So we need to become innocent. We need to become emptied out. We need to just disengage and sort of take a deep breath. And as you take this deep breath, you sort of are releasing toxic energy, toxic masculinity, toxic femininity. And you're getting into an evenness, you're getting into an everythingness, you're getting into a state of consciousness that has not been seen before in this moment. So allow this to be a simulation of what it is to be omnipresent, is to be the God or the goddess within. And as in this moment, you are not anything, but you are everything. You are the evenness. You are the creation. You are before creation. You are after creation. You are the destination. You are the journey within the journey. You are an infinite number of parallel dreams. But in this dream, you get to dictate what goes on in this dream. You are the dream maker. You are the peacemaker. You're the thing that molds the universe in this moment. You're manifesting the universe. You're making sure that this person is doing this. You are being of service to others. You are creating this reality. You're creating your happiness. You're creating and generating your success. But how can you do that when you are just being? You are just being. And once you just be, there's no control. There's only being. There's only letting go. There's only letting go of everything that is holding you back from seeing your true omnipresent nature of Source. The Oracle of Love, Light, and Wisdom is God in human form. But what if you weren't just a human? What if you were an electromagnetic field of energy, of kinetic source energy? It has to be kinetic because if you are still, if you're stagnant, if you're lacking something, then you are not creating. This is called self-actualization into kinetic energy. So what you're doing right now, you may not be moving right here, but inside of your consciousness, you are moving. You are creating. You are manifesting. You are generating. You are sending downloads. You are going to Atlantis. You are doing so many different things. You are becoming the monad, the I am presence, the 12 aspects of you in different realms, in different planes, in different universes. And you are all in sync with yourself, so you are an omnipresent being. You might be a human being in this world, but in the next world you might be an Arcturian. And in the next world, you might just be energy. You might be a dog. You might be so many different things, but I want you to tap into the allness, the isness of being, and be Source in all things. That is all that there is. It is you being Source in every one of your many creations. So how can you be Source right now? How can you be the source of all things right now? Because there's no trying to be the source of all things right now. You are the source of all things right now. What is inside of me is inside of you and inside of everybody else, and it's God to God. So then why is there such this debate about what Source is, of what God is, of what enlightenment is? Because enlightenment is the transcendence of the human condition. So in this moment, you are experiencing everything that is inside of your consciousness, past lifetimes, this lifetime, future lifetimes, lifetimes where you were an animal, lifetimes when you had lower densities of consciousness. And it's all coalescing inside of one. It is all coalescing inside of your consciousness. It is you witnessing the Source being playing out its manifestation. You are literally seeing all that you have ever created inside of one creation. It's almost as if you took a telescope and you saw everything that you were supposed to create in past lifetimes and present lifetimes and future lifetimes and different parallel realities, alternate realities. And it's like as if you're seeing a tunnel of light. And as you look into the scope, you're seeing it all play out as if it was a flash, as if it was just passing you by all in a nanosecond. And as you're seeing this, it's playing in your mind and you're downloading all of this information all at the same time. You're downloading this knowledge, this wonderment, when you were a samurai, when you were in the 1800s during the Revolutionary War, seeing yourself perform on a stage in the future, seeing yourself as a dog, or just seeing yourself as energy, as nothing, as pure spacious awareness, source. So in this moment, you're trying to not do anything to generate anything, to not move, but you are moving. Even though you're not moving right here, right now, you might have your eyes closed, you might have your eyes open, you might be looking at an object, focusing on the object itself. But what you're doing in this moment is that you are not focused on doing anything, but seeing everything that you are doing everywhere else as the omnipresence, kinetic energy. So if you just see yourself as energy, if you just see yourself as nothing, as just pure space, kind of like 0 point creation, but full of just white space. And knowing that you are the electromagnetic field of energy that encompasses the entire space of the entirety of this universe, of the stars, of your alignment, of your chakras, of everything. But don't focus on one thing, but just focus on the beingness itself, leaving it as it is, not trying to change it for what it is, but just seeing it through what it is. And you're just allowing yourself to breathe out of your throat right now. Not through your nose, not through your mouth, but just through your throat. And you're just allowing it to flow. You're allowing the creation to flow. You're allowing the manifestation to flow. You're allowing the trying or the tiredness to subside, and you don't have to do anything for this to happen for you. It's already happened for you. You're already seeing it play out. But how do you see yourself right now? How do you see yourself in this moment? How do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as a finite body? Do you see yourself as a human being? Do you see yourself as the I am? Because the I am is nothing. It is a nothingness. It is an everythingness. It is all that there is. And right now you are tapping back into the allness, the wonderment, the seeing through the illusion of time and space. And it's as if you're quantum leaping through time and space right now. And it's as if you're not only breaching through densities of consciousness as you're quantum leaping through time and space, but it's almost as if you're cutting a hole in the fabric of space and time without having to do anything right now. And you're cutting a hole in the fabric of space and time and quantum leaping into a new state of being within this being, experiencing all of your other beings, experiencing all of these other experiences of experiencing. but doesn't feel great. It's not even that you're trying to figure out what color the energy is. You're not trying to visualize a ball of energy. You're not trying to put a label on it. You're not trying to describe it. You're not trying to figure it out. But you're just letting it rest as your awareness. You're just letting it rest as if it's just something routine, going through the motions, as if it's something as easy as brushing your teeth. You don't really have to think about it, and you don't even think about it after you're done thinking about it. You just kind of put your toothbrush away, and then you have the sense of attachment to non-attachment. But right now, you're not attached to what has transpired here. You're just letting this guided meditation transmission flow for you. You're just sort of letting it flow for you. You're not trying to do anything for the manifestation, for it. You're just being it. You're just not even trying to see it, not even trying to process it, but just letting it flow naturally and intuitively and transcendently. So don't even try to look at it objectively. It is bliss. It is bliss when you just stop. Stop thinking, stop breathing, stop processing, stop talking, stop doing, stop. And you press the reset button. And it's almost as if you rebooted a video game. And it's as if the dream has started all over again. But it's not that you're missing out on all of this information. It's not like the hard drive is erased. But in a sense, you are just being. You don't have to try to reach for it. You don't have to try to study it, because it is autonomous knowledge. It is autonomous knowledge. It's autonomous because you are not pulling from a source, but you're directly pulling from source. And you're seeing source within your own being. And you're seeing the source as all that there is, that there's no description, that there's no trying, that there's no doing. There's just being, there's just breathing, there's just clear space, clean slate, a new beginning, a new choice, more free will to be accumulated. But it's becoming just more divinely orchestrated. It's just becoming your signature. It's becoming a part of who you are. You don't even second guess it. It's just a part of who you are as a being. It releases more tension, it releases more resistance, it releases the ability to just stop trying to control things and just leave life as it is, and don't try to change it, don't try to reject it, but just leave it as it is right here, right now, and enjoy and bask in this moment, bask in the glory of you becoming source in this moment. It's beautiful. It's effortless, it's endless, it's infiniteness. It's an infinite number of creations, it's an infinite number of expressions, an infinite number of authenticity. It is an infinite number of oracle of love, light, and wisdoms that you're creating right now. It's almost as if you're making a duplicate of yourself. But there is no human being, but it is just energy. It's just energy. It's just what you are as a soul. It's just who you are. It's just what you want to be. Not that you want to be it, but you're just being it. There's no trying to be it. There's no trying to get it. There's no trying to achieve it. There's no trying to ask a question about it. It's not always about the answer, but you kind of already know what the answer is. It's yes. It's yes, I am source. I am this. I am prosperous. I am wealthy. I am gorgeous. I am fantastical. I am miraculous. I am a victor, not a victim. I am all that I am. I am the light that I am. I am all that there is. I am the I am sentience beingness, breathing life into the universe. But what do you want to be in this life? What does it look like for you? You don't have to type in the comment section, but it is your own experience. It is something that is not someone else's. It is your own journey. It is your own individuation. It is your own creation. And right now you're just resting in it. You're just breathing in it. You're just basking in it. You're just seeing the glory in it. But it's not a prideful glory, but it's a graceful glory. It is you becoming spirit. And spirit doesn't have a form. Spirit can come to you in many different individuations. But you're becoming the individuation of your spirit, of your intelligence, of your autonomous knowledge, of your recognition. And in this moment, there's something that is happening. It's like a clearing of the decks. It's like a clearing of everything that you have ever done, that you have ever seen. And it's like as if you restarted the video game, rebooted it, but you are playing at a harder difficulty, and you have to adapt to the environment of the game. It's as if you're playing the game on a different difficulty. But you love the challenge. You love the fact that it's not going easy on you, but knowing that all is well and I'll make it through the storm because I am the storm. And sometimes fate whispers to the warrior that you are not going to be able to withstand the storm, and then the warrior looks back at fate, and says that I am the storm. So right now you are the storm, in a sense. But feel as if you are in the stretching zone. Not the comfort zone. Not the panic zone. But in the stretching zone. You're like a sponge that is absorbing energy and downloads and frequencies and different belief systems and all sorts of things right in this moment. Take a deep breath. And when I snap my fingers, you will feel renewed. You will feel like there's a charge. You will feel like there is a clarity, a self-realization, a self-actualization, a self-love, a self-forgiveness, a self. It's a recognition of the true self. It's the effortless perfection of what your higher self wants you to be, to emulate source within this human vessel. And voila, it's as if you snap back into your true nature. It's as if there's no trying. There's no trying to do anything. But all it is just the recognition of the source of all things, of the true nature of the I am. And it's bliss, it's ecstasy. It's truly the space where you can create what you want to create and be the player of your video game. And it feels good to know that there is no like trying in it. There's only breathing the frequency. There's only seeing it. There's only believing it. There's only just becoming it. It is all the act of becoming that which you want to be. And it's not that you want to be, but you already are the calling. You don't have to try to be the calling, but you are the calling, if you will. You are the calling, you are the manifestation, you are the spontaneousness of source. And it's funny because it's as if we are being born and as if we are being resurrected. We're being born again. We're being shown again. We're closing our eyes so that we can see better. And it's as if we are restarting this life when we awaken. It's as if we are restarting the journey that we thought we were on. We thought we were on this journey, and it happened to be a lie, and now we see our truth, and we're basking in our truth. We're trying to stand firm in our truth, stand firm about who we are, and we're not going back. You may fluctuate through densities of consciousness, but you're never going to go back to what you once were, because when you awaken, you're becoming a totally different state of being. You're upping your frequency, you're upping your state, your previous state from which you were. But this is the first episode of Cigars and Spirituality. This is White Wolf. I hope you enjoyed this talk, and I will be making more of it. And in the future, I want to make it to where we have sort of a dialogue, maybe at this house or at the at certain places where we can reserve tables and try to get people to come out and to embrace their spirituality and not reduce it to eating vegetables, not reduce it to being like overly religious or something like that, you know. And it's just because you eat vegetables don't make you enlightened. Just because you read the Bible and use it as a weapon doesn't make you a good Christian. Or, and I'm just using an example. But we'll be making content, and I also want to promote me and Morningstar readings and healings this Sunday at 11 o'clock Eastern Time Zone, and we'll be on there for 2 hours, and it's paid readings for $33. So please go to BitChute, Morningstar I Am Movement, Facebook page, I capital space M capital space M capital movement, the rest is lowercase. Go to our TikTok, MorningStar967, go to Divine Ray, Morningstar and White Wolf, and go to our Instagram page, I_M_movement, they're all lowercase. And please check out our YouTube channel, Morningstar I Am Movement. So it was a pleasure to be in your guys' homes, to be where you are right now. And if you ever have a time that you just want to sit and smoke a cigar with me and have sort of a dialogue, feel free, because there will be many of these to come. So this is White Wolf signing off, and so it is. God bless you all, and you all have a wonderful evening, night, or morning. Bye.